Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be cutting 3 books from my pile from the self-published fantasy blog off round 8. We don't get through every single book. It is unfortunate, but there are 30 books to get through and the judges treat their pile of 30 books as a kind of slush pile. And this means that sometimes you have books that don't work for you, but I do want to mention a bit about them just in case it's something that sounds interesting to you. So the first book that I'm going to be cutting is The Serpent Lord by Wren Murphy. Princess Sarah of Amalis cares deeply about the people that she will one day be ruling. But as her country recovers from civil war, she longs to escape the shackles that her father and life in court has placed upon her. But when she is kidnapped by a man known only as the Serpent Lord, she begins to question everything that she has known so far. Taken to the treacherous bogs and cold stone castle of Rowell, she begins to embark on a quest that will give her answers about her enigmatic captor. This had quite an interesting introduction in that Sarah is just completely done with courtly games and intrigue. She would much rather talk about the crop failures which are plaguing her country. There is some nice description and imagery at times, and the environment is built quite well. But I did become quite frustrated with Sarah's perspective. I never knew quite where she was. One moment she's ogling the Serpent Lord's jawline, and next she's terrified of him because he's fighting a danger away from her, not at her. She can't see him. She's also screaming because she can see him fighting. When we first get to Rowell, there is only 2 characters in a lot of the scenes, and the other character is a man, and the entire time he's just described as the blind man. And this all comes from Sarah's internal monologue. She makes huge assumptions about people, and it just really began to get frustrating to read, unfortunately. There were some interesting aspects to this world, but not enough to pull me in to keep me going. The second book that I'm going to be cutting is Our Dead Gods by J.C. Williams. The race of man has failed. The undead and necromancers of Mortua reign supreme. Nurius was once a holy warrior. Now he wanders the barren wasteland, doing what he needs to do in order to survive. Killing for whoever will pay. When a chance happening reveals a way to potentially kill the immortal necromancers, a plan is sprung into action with Nurius and others. But things do not go as planned. Nurius is cursed with the soul of the very thing he sought to destroy, and now he is being hunted. This book serves as a backstory for some other work that the author has out, and I was really intrigued by a fantasy world that's post-apocalyptic, there's undead, and there's necromancers, and I was like, that sounds interesting, but unfortunately I did not get on well with the author's writing style. I clashed quite hard with this one, and unfortunately this one was a fairly fast DNF for me. The final book that I will be cutting is Gold Dust by Catherine Weaver. Alex Lee is a freshman in the Silicon Valley. With no friends, the most ordinary name ever. With no friends and the most ordinary name ever, not to mention a mum who has become a mindless zombie, Alex wonders if things could possibly get worse. And when she comes face to face with a leprechaun on the way home from school, she discovers that in fact it can. Alex is pushed into an adventure going from a high security breach to facing an army of griffins to a point where she could save her mum. That is, if she's not torn apart by magic first. This is told in a first-person perspective, and it is a very frenetic stream of consciousness perspective. It makes for a very fast read, and I never felt we got to experience and just see where we were. All events and all emotions were very full-on all the time. The dialogue was easy to follow, but I did just find the style a little bit frustrating to read, so I did not finish this one. So if any of those sound interesting to you, I would love to know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all soon.